Okay, I am going to show you how to use some of the different resources that I've provided. So the first is really simple. You're just looking at some pictures of different national parks. And so if you scroll through this time.com webpage, it's got really beautiful photos of a couple different national parks. All of them, actually, all 59. So you have to scroll quite a bit if you want to get through all of them, but there are some cool things here. First, you can see when each park was established. That is one of the requirements on your project. In addition, as we start this project, I want you to start thinking about what kind of weathering and what kind of erosion is taking place at these parks. So if we just look at these first two, we can see here some snow. Looks down here like a river. So right off the bat, we know there's moving water. That's a type of erosion. If there's snow and water, you can probably bet there's some kind of frost wedging. That's a kind of weather. So that's something you want to think about when you look through these parks. Utah in particular, you can start thinking like what kind of erosion, what kind of weathering caused these rocks to form this way. Okay, these are all things we've talked about. So that's the first webpage. Once you have a better idea of some of the parks, you might look at this webpage, National Park Foundation, nationalparks.org. Here, if you click, you can search by state. So let's say we want to check out California. It'll bring up national parks and national monuments in California. So here I want to point out that we're not doing any historic websites and we're not doing national monuments, although if you make a strong case for a national monument, then I may allow it. So here you can check out various national parks. So let's just do Death Valley to see what it looks like. So here provides a really nice overview. Again, for the first part of the project, I want you to look at a few different parks. And here we can see it's the lowest and hottest and driest of all the national parks, Death Valley. Very cool. You can also learn some history and yeah, just a broad overview on this webpage. When you're ready to look at more detail, you want to go to nps.gov. And if you go to your specific national park using the search function or just looking up NPS and then the national park, you'll come across a page like this. We can click on this tab, learn more about the park. And here we want to look at nature, also the history and culture. You're going to be asked to look at some of the park's history, but in terms of most of your project, you want to be looking at mostly geology, but other things too. So here we have geologic formations, mountains, faults. These are all things we talked about and things that you should also mention because one of the requirements, you need to relate this to a previous topic. So here I can look at geologic formations. Here it's talking about magma. And so this would be a good example of how it relates to a different topic. We talked about magma when we talked about volcanoes, and here they're also talking about specific types of rocks, right? We also did the rock cycle. So Yeah, plenty to dig through. I highly recommend you use these web pages, not Wikipedia. And when you're ready, you just go ahead and do slides.google.com. And you'll make your presentation here. And that's it.